Welcome back to the MadTechTalk. So within this video, I'm going to review today the two phones which I think they're pretty interesting. They're very affordable and I think, it's something different. They're both running the Android, and the phones which are actually we're talking about is the CMF Phone 2 Pro by MadTech and the Nothing Phone 3A also by MadTech. And these phones are pretty cool and they have some differences, and I wanted to kind of show you, if you're kind of maybe thinking about buying one of those phones, what are the main differences. So obviously when it comes to design, so we have the CMF phone, which is the plastic kind of based on the back with plastic at the front, and it's, I think, okay designs. Like it has like a nice matte kind of finish, which is, pretty cool. I very much enjoy it. When it comes to the MadTech, obviously there is a cool back of that tech with the Glyph, so you can see, all the screws and kind of the whole design. It is a decent kind of thing, I very much enjoy that design. So when it comes to design, I think I would prefer this one. You can see that it's a high-tech kind of design with like a transparent thingy here, a lot of screws. It looks very cool. So this is kind of the main thing, which is obviously kind of design of the phone. Both are, charged by the USB-C. Both have the, two buttons on the side for the wake and the essential space, and obviously the volumes. Let's start with the processor. So the CMF phone is running the MediaTek Dimensity 7300, while this one's running the Snapdragon 7S, the Gen 3, which is obviously much faster processor. When it comes to the storage, so they both come in two versions, like 128 gig and 256 gig, but here the winning kind of part is actually the CMF phone, because it has an expandable memory of you can actually insert the micro SD card up to 2 terabytes here. So I think this is a winner definitely on the storage. So when it comes to the RAM, so we can see that Nothing Phone actually comes with the option of the 12 gig of RAM, while this is only 8. But I think for the mobile version, for the mobile phone, I think it's something which is definitely cool. So when it comes to display, they both are 6.77 inch AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate and the 300 nits. This makes the phone very nice and bright, especially during the sunlight, and I think this is something which is, very cool, very useful in a daily usage. So the main thing which I definitely see, it's obviously the camera. So like both phones have the main camera of 50 megapixel, but the Nothing phone has 2 times zoom and a 30 times zoom, while this one only has the 2 times. And also there is the wide camera of 8 megapixel. The main difference is actually the selfie camera, in my opinion, because I use selfie camera often. I think we often use it, especially with TikTok, Instagram, etc, etc. So the CMF Phone 2 Pro has the selfie camera of 16 megapixel and only supports 1080p, which I'm not that fan, I think 4K kind of becomes standard. So I think I like what they did with the Nothing Phone, because Nothing Phone has a 32 megapixel camera and it does support 4K recording, which I think is pretty cool. It's 4K 30 FPS, which I think is just enough, So when it comes to the battery and the charging, they both come with a 5000 mAh battery. When it comes to the actual charging, so the CMF phone has the option of 33 watt wired charging, while the Nothing Phone has a 50 watt wired charging. And if you compare it to the 3A Pro, this one doesn't have a wireless charging, but the 3A Pro has it. So yeah, I don't use wireless charging that often, so I think both of those options are very good for me. But let's be honest, 5000 mAh, I think it's great. I think it should be actually standard for majority of the phones out there. I see that, a lot of companies still not doing that, and I don't know why. Like, why are you putting such a small batteries in your phones? Like, we want to use it for a long time, right? So obviously, this phone also has that Glyph option, and the Glyph, it's a very cool thing, because Glyph allows you to, set a timer on the Glyph Glyph, see your notification or vibration or call, and actually, you know, without kind of looking at the screen. I think that's very techy and very nice. It's definitely something different where you have kind of the phone like that, and it can just, you know, turn on the Glyph and turn on some notification. That's definitely something which I very much like. Both phones has the NFC, so we can see that with the CMF Phone 2 Pro, they added the NFC because with the first version it didn't have it. I think now it's kind of a standard, so I'm glad they did, because, you know, I don't leave my house without the phone, and I often leave it without the wallet, but I always have, you know, Google Pay on the phone, so thanks to it's easier to pay or share data, and I think that's just a good standard. So the last thing, it's obviously the pricing. So the CMF Phone 2 Pro cost £220, while the Nothing phone cost 320. Which one do you think is better? I prefer actually the CMF Phone 2 Pro. Why is that? Mainly because I do like an expandable storage with the, you know, micro SD card. I record a lot of videos, and this is something which is, you know, very cool, and I think a very useful feature. But obviously the Nothing phone, the design, the Glyph and everything, it's just, it makes it appealing. So yeah, I like both of them. Obviously, both of them have the option of the essential space with the screenshots, voice recording, and the whole kind of a storage and Nothing OS, which I think is very cool. And they both have the 6 years of support. Let me know what you think. Which phone would you choose? And do you think that thing is doing an amazing job here? Because I actually do. Nothing Tech. And remember, if you like these videos, just like and follow for more daily tips and hacks.
MadTechTalk, tech so fly. Breaking down gear, let's amplify. Sub like, don't miss a thing. Tech reviews with a little bling. We out for now, but stay tuned. More fire tech is dropping soon.